Welcome in. It is ATB at the buzzer. You can track us down online at atbshow.com. That's where all of our YouTube content is. If you hang out with Rubber Shoes for his rant and wrap up every morning on Instagram, in the link, pun intended, there is a link tree. If you go to linktr.ee/ATB show.
Write that
down. You want to make it more confusing for you? Adam's like, oh my God, he's spelling
or
it
just
out.
go
This
to
is-
the
This is
Instagram
the
bio.
end. This is when they wheel me off stage. Cuidado. Yep.
No, if you were to start a www,
World Wide Webowitz.
HTTP.
Just click the
colon.
link with your finger on your phone, for God's sakes.
I could go to GoDaddy and buy a link for the link tree. Doesn't that sound counterintuitive? You're making your point. Yep. Anyway, welcome in. So we are down Little Shoes. He is sending some of his friends off to university. Of course, it's move-in week. If you have anybody tall enough for expensive secondary education, they're probably heading in that direction right now. Some of our short people are already back at school or going back to school. So we've got Rubber Shoes checking in from the Lowell studios. We've got Adam in Connecticut. I won't give out your address.
Thank you.
I'm dying to. It's like the running joke.
Yes.
It's a running joke. We're going to just put it on a chiron at the bottom of the screen so you can't yell at me. I didn't say it. I just typed it up.
That's right.
Scotty Dukes in Southern Maine. Beautiful downtown COVID. Tell us less about that. We are so glad you're back. Anybody who doesn't think it's real, one of the strongest people I know got his ass kicked along with his wife and his short people. And we're really good that you're good and glad you're back. And you've cleared all the lung butter, as I think our good friend Isaiah would call it, the lung butter. Cough it up.
Yeah.
Cough it up.
It was nasty. A little bit of blood there in the butter this time. But it wasn't good. It wasn't good. But happy to be back. Happy to be healthy. We're in day number, I guess, 2 now of outside of quarantine, finally. So, but
now you and your wife both had it. How did that work? You've got kids at home. Who took care of the kids? Did you just
well, they got my boys weren't here, so they didn't get it.
Oh,
so just Ava, but Ava had it. But Ava was asymptomatic. So imagine like a 3-year-old.
She already had it. So yeah.
Yeah, a 3-year-old just marching around, just like not like you're not
doing whatever
sick.
the hell she wants.
You have a headache? Let me hit you with this mallet, And it's,
Daddy, did you know the stove only burns you when you touch it?
She came up to me a couple of times and she's like, "You're hot," and she kept like touching my arm and stuff.
Yeah, God.
104-degree fever. But it was something that actually Amy and I talked about too. Is that thank God we had each other because one would kind of like get some rest and and then the other one would kind of watch Ava and then vice versa. And it was definitely a team effort. I feel bad for single parents that have to quarantine and are sick and stuff because it knocked me on my ass and in a big way. So, I don't wish it on my worst enemy, maybe the Jets, but outside of that,
coming soon to a stadium near you.
Right. But it was rough. It was the worst week of our life without a doubt.
Are you still at home? You still working you work from home normally, right? Yeah.
We both work from home. So I got hired.
Company are you 4,000% work from home? Like, is that a done deal? You work from home now. Okay.
Yep. I mean, the part of the organization I work with is all global anyway. So the majority of people I talk to is international. So I would go to the office, which I've never actually been since I've got hired during the pandemic. So I've always been here. But if I even went in there, I'd be behind basically in meetings behind in my office the entire time. So
they know you live in Maine, right? Even though they're a global organization.
I mean, it's in Portsmouth. It's like
casting dispersion,
10 minutes away,
Southern Connecticut.
I'm just over the border enough.
Adam's like, if I go out on my front porch, I can see Montauk.
That's right. Thank you.
Hawaii Polo.
Oh boy,
I can see the Holiday Garden Inn though from my front porch. I can see that.
Well, and you can almost smell the comments coming in like, well, if you got your shot, so full disclosure, because I'm pretty sure I have the freedom to talk about everybody on screen. We're all shot. Everybody got their shot. Now, Adam and I got the shitty shot. I'm hashtag
Scotty
that.
did too.
Hashtag that and British shirts. Oh yeah, you got the J.
Yeah.
We got ours. We all got the rabbit water that apparently is a placebo.
That doesn't count.
So Scotty's not really making me excited about my And that's the other thing. Like now they want us to march in for our second shot or our third shot. And this is where my, I don't know, my tinfoil helmet, it's at the cleanest, but like in the grand scheme of things, like, okay, if the first shots didn't help Scotty, yeah, you're picking up what I'm putting.
Well, you got to get the flu shot every year. I mean, it's no different than that.
Dude, I'll drop one on you right now. I haven't got the flu shot since we all worked together at ERZ.
Oh, all right. Well,
I got it. I was on afternoon drive. Scotty might have been there. I was on afternoon drive. I'm like, sure. I march my rotund ass down the hallway. Some chick from CVS shoves it into my jugular. And then like my show started. I'm like, I can't feel my eyes. And I know when you get the flu shot and rubber shoes, obviously, because rubber shoes is dealing with people on a regular basis with the fire department. I know typically, correct me when I'm wrong, which is always with the flu shot, ultimately they're giving you a shot that is carrying the 3 most prevalent strains of the flu from the prior season at a reduced level to prepare you for this season.
That's right.
And it just kicked my ass. I haven't got it since. I'm not going to say it out loud. This desk is maybe for Micah, so I can't say knock on wood. I don't know what to tell you. I'm good. And I went and did what I should do as a parent of a diabetic child and a godson, I should say a son-in-law of some old people that live with us. I don't know if I'm rushing to get the J&J2 shot. I don't know.
Well, they said eight months. It hasn't been 8 months for you, right? I'm just been probably what, 4 or 5?
I have it memorized, officer. I don't have it with me, but I have it memorized. It was April 11th. It was 7:52 on a Sunday morning at Loudon Racetrack.
Oh, all right. So did you get to see some cars running around or no?
Just people that pitched forward into their steering wheel after they died from getting the first shot. Yeah, they drove right into the header. But no, I didn't. Other than that, no.
Listen, we're gonna get taken down from YouTube for all this misinformation. So shut the fuck up.
for more fun-filled content, go to Anthony Fauci hates Tim / don't go here / don't click again.
Please don't take it down. Don't take it
about 6 months in on my.
Could you spell that domain out for us if you don't mind?
Fightswithtony.gov. Oh shit! I'm going now. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to see if it's available.
Of course you are.
Like we'll need it. Keep going. Anyway, we got rubber shoes. We got.
I don't think you can buy a .gov. I don't think you can buy a .gov.
I think I can, and I think I'm about to.
Oh, for God's sakes, Janina's going to be like, "What is on this bill?"
Yeah. So, Patriots. So yesterday, I texted about the playoff holes that were going on at the BMW. Of course, rubber shoes. Probably wearing Bruins socks, Celtics underwear, and a Patriots shirt. He's like, I'm watching the Red Sox and the Patriots. Like he's got 9 TVs going.
I had my Chris Sale shirt on.
Of course he did.
Come on, Tim.
Anyway,
do you wear anything besides this sports gear or no?
Yeah.
You do?
I have concert T-shirts.
That was nowhere. I thought that was gonna go.
Those are for court and weddings. Yeah.
Court and weddings. Dude, I got a Def Leppard t-shirt.
This morning I had my Descendants t-shirt on for the wrap up this morning.
Descendants.
It's the first time I've not had a sports shirt on. Oh, no, actually that's not true.
Did somebody write in and complain? Or?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna be a trivia question coming up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much whatever I wear to the gym is what I do my wrap up on. Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah, that took on a whole.
Now I'm smelling it.
Yeah.
through the computer.
Sometimes I take a shower first and change, but depending how much time I have.
Nope.
I can't go back from that.
Just took a vote. You'll shower before every broadcast. Yeah.
All right, I got to jump in then right now.
Oh
my God. What the hell?
You guys,
tomorrow's rubber shoes wrap will be him wrapping a towel around his head.
Well, I don't shower before the show, but I do generally shower. I don't have a job where I'm sweating when I'm working. I don't go to the gym either.
Koozie, by the way, is that what's happening there?
What's that?
It's Truly.
Oh,
Truly. Oh.
All right.
It's a hard seltzer sized koozie.
Next time, just tell us it's hard seltzer.
Okay,
Why, Truly was too much information for you?
It was too much information.
I guess I'm blown away by the fact that he's using a foam koozie. Like, it
doesn't keep it
Did
cold?
you head with Doc back to 1984 to get that? Like, what are you doing? Don't you have like a
Yeti? I do have a Yeti.
I'm in my office.
I have many
koozies I have here.
Oh, for God's sakes. Empty the drawer, Tim.
I got but this is from.
This is my water.
Oh my God, what is that? Your wine bottle holder?
It's a water reserve.
Right? I recently did.
Sakes.
It's great.
30 to me.
So this is for extra water.
Okay.
This is.
They don't have faucets in your office?
This is for the current water.
Okay.
This is if I'm having a big coffee.
Oh my.
Hang on. This is if I'm having an energy drink because they come in 16-ounce cans just like the craft beers. Hang on.
Is this for real right now?
This rubber shoes is a truly sized.
Oh, can you send that my way?
No, you cheap bastard. Sell
I didn't know they made that
one and a
size.
half of your
All
Funko Pops and buy one yourself. Holy mother! Can you
How
send
much
one
money
my
do you
way?
have sunk into koozies? What is going
I know
on?
you guys make fun of all my sneakers and
the only reason we don't know about Tim's idiosyncrasies is because they're not lined up on shelves behind him.
I get my stuff on sale. I know those things never go on sale.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
What is happening?
It's real estate. We stay hydrated.
Okay. Okay. You don't have a water cooler that you go hang out at work, or?
We have digital water, just like the radio station used to have. It's all like filtered and pumped out of the wall.
Okay.
And when I'm in here talking to 15 people in a row, half hour at a time, peeing into a pickle jar, get a break? I need some way to rehydrate.
Wow.
So I just have
that's incredible.
All the containers.
This is incredible.
And there's a fridge in my office that I can take things and slide them into those. And then
I'm guessing all of that was shipped to the office.
He's poking the bear. He's making fun of the fact that I have stuff shipped here so it doesn't have to go past the vice president of finance at home. Yeah, you're right. That's a thing.
I mean, honestly, you mortgaged the house to buy all those Yetis. Holy shit.
No, they're super reasonable.
Yeah.
Nope, not in the slightest.
Not
I keep trying to figure out a way how I can justify the backpack cooler. That's like $300. Like, there's got to be I must really need a lot of lunch to bring with me every day so I can get one of those.
You're going to get a Yeti backpack to go to work with?
Yeah.
Look at him. Yeah. How long is your commute?
Why wouldn't you do that?
I have a 24-hour shift at the fire station. I need a lot of food.
Don't you guys have a fridge? There's no communal fridge?
You don't have burgers and tots coming out of the oven every hour?
It's pretty gross.
Don't you have a rat? Do you have... I'm about to ask a question nobody wants to answer to.
Nope.
Do you guys have shared racks? Like when you go and you're on your shift, are you jumping into a rack that some other guy was in the night before?
Yep.
Do people leave socks behind? You know what I'm going.
I have not found one.
For the love of God.
I don't know if people are leaving laundry behind.
Jeez, I hope not.
Yeah. All right.
No wonder Rubber Shoes only showers once every 3 days.
Yeah, Scotty's like, I came off oxygen for this.
The Pats traded Sony Michel. Did you guys?
Oh, did they really?
All right.
No kidding. All right.
Listen,
fair enough.
I'm trying to buy a .gov and you guys sideline me. So you talk amongst yourselves about the Patriots. I have to buy a domain.
We need a cough button for Scotty after the recent days.
All right. So apologies.
Rubber Shoes. I know you're chomping at the bit about the Patriots preseason last night. Champing at the bit.
First of all, before the game, I would like to say all that bullshit about best for the team, and that if you don't make practices, you don't get to start. And then who starts at quarterback last night? Cam Newton. After a misunderstanding about the COVID protocol last week.
Okay.
But I think it was a misunderstanding, though. Isn't that what's officially come out?
Yeah. Well, that's what the team's saying to cover his ass.
Oh. All right.
I feel like last week you were pro Mac and now you
I am pro Mac.
No, he's angry about Cam starting.
Yeah, Cam started last night after missing 3 days of practice.
No, I get that. No, I apologize. I felt like last week you were more pro Cam.
No.
Okay.
I've been pro Mac since day one.
The whole time.
Since they drafted him, I thought just throw him to the Wolves.
Yeah, I agree. I think he went out and won the job last night, don't you think?
Nope.
No?
Nope. Cam will be the starter week 1.
I thought it was interesting though that Belichick didn't come out and say who's starting, and
he won't say until the day of the game.
I think he'll announce before that.
You do?
I definitely think so.
All right,
because he's not going to want to keep answering the question. I think he'll finally.
But then in his mind, he's thinking, okay, every day I don't announce it, then the other team has to prepare for both quarterbacks.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, right? Is could they do some sort of situation? You wouldn't put it past Belichick to do a double-headed monster here, where Cam jumps in halfway through the game or Mac jumps in halfway through the game because they're such different quarterbacks to throw the other team off their game. Well, I mean, it's a little gimmicky, but
if you have two quarterbacks, you have none.
Yeah. I don't think that's a viable option. I don't think.
I don't think Bill would do it, and I don't think it. Yes, is it his final decision? I guess. I think this is more of a McDaniels conversation than anybody else.
Maybe.
And right. I think McDaniels probably wants Mac because he just wants to move on.org. Also not available. I just checked. Yep. Anyway, I think he wants to move in that direction. At the same time, I didn't see the start of the game because I was busy watching the Mania over on the PGA. And I'm not shocked if he was serviceable last night that he probably will get the start.
Like if Cam was serviceable, which he was.
He was 5 for 10 with a pick.
Yeah.
That pick he threw a touchdown, right? Didn't he throw a touchdown last night?
No.
Oh, I thought he did.
His drives, they ended in field goals. Except for
okay.
The pick. The pick though was a hell of a play by that linebacker, man. I mean, he just ripped it out.
I missed it. I just saw the stats on it.
Yeah, it was a seam route for Jacoby Myers, and the linebacker stayed with Myers, and then the ball was actually dropped in. Myers had it, and then the linebacker just took it right out of his arms. And rolled over. It was a great play by the linebacker. It wasn't a bad throw. It was actually, and it was something that we've all wanted to see, which was a pass more than 20 yards down the field. So it was actually, and it was a good ball by Newton. It wasn't a terrible throw. But I think he's going to end up starting Cam. I don't think there's is that the right choice? Probably not. I'll give Mac a lot of credit for yesterday because he came out his first 2 series. He looked like dog shit. He looked like how I felt last week. It was not good. And then he turned it around completely, just really had some really, really good, a couple of series in a row. That touchdown pass was on a just absolute dime.
Oh, yeah.
Bullet pass in that zone.
The problem is I would love to see Mac Jones with the ones because I feel like the best receiver that he's had is Asiasi.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too, to what Scotty just said, I feel like Mac hasn't been in a lot of pressure situations. I feel like we're based on what we got from Newton last year, right? Based on what we've seen from Cam, you could argue anyone's an improvement. And then we've seen sort of, some really good stuff, and let's scale that out to what we've been dealing with as Pats fans for the last year. Some really good stuff from Mac. And at the same time, which seems to be true, and I think a couple people on the post-game show had mentioned this. If he does run through all of his checkdowns and then starts to run through his checkdowns the second time he holds onto the ball too long, he doesn't efficiently move through. Like if the X receiver is not open, he tends to run through the rest of the checkdowns and then hold too long and get in trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he got sacked more than once. I saw him get sacked once, and I just anytime a quarterback goes down now, I just think their knees are going to explode because I'm still scarred emotionally from 2007. So yeah, Dugan was at that game. We blame it on Dugan.
Always.
Yeah, the ACL game. So I don't know. And then I think Cam, I find it hard to believe that he suddenly learned how to throw. So I don't know what this mirage is that I seem to keep seeing, but like, oh my God, he threw the ball well again. And when does that evaporate? And is that because like everybody said, he was up against Philadelphia's 9th string? And I don't know to what extent he looked great last night outside of the pick that wasn't really his fault. I hate saying that. I think that's a throwaway statement. I mean, the linebacker ripped it out of his hands. I appreciate that, Scotty. But at the same time, was there somebody else who was a little more open?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, also, does he have the wheels to get out of trouble still? Like it almost feels like to me, it feels like he doesn't.
I think it's more of, I actually want to say it's more of like McDaniels wants him to be more in the pocket, unless it's a design rollout or something to that effect, where then he's looking at, or a design quarterback run, which we saw a bunch last year. But I haven't seen the Cam of like, I'm going to take off and run a lot.
Right.
But when he does take off and run, you didn't see it a lot during the preseason. I guarantee that was something that they said, we didn't want you healthy. It's the freaking preseason. We want to be competitive, but try not to
But why would you do that though? Honestly, you're taking this guy's the number one thing that he does, right? Arguably the number one thing that he does. You're taking that away. Why would you do that? I mean, I understand health reasons in the preseason, but if that's what the guy is, then let the guy be who he is, right? I mean, he's not a pocket passer, never has been. Yeah, he has looked a little bit better in this preseason, but he's just never been a really good pocket passer. So why are we going to try and transform him into that?
I don't think he's as elusive as he used to be. I think more like last year, a lot of times when he was running, he was more like he was running people over, not making them miss.
Right.
And so there was a lot of design plays with that, third and short, that he was just taking the ball and running people over and getting 3 yards.
And what about the offensive line? I mean, do we have the line to support that?
Line is really good.
Line is really good. That's what the line is to me.
Both sides of the ball.
Yeah, the line to me is probably one of the best starting offensive lines you're going to see, and one of the best things that you're going to see, and why I think Stevenson was ranked the highest ranked rookie in the preseason, according to PFF, was that it's going to be a great run blocking line. Yep. They're going to put their nose in the dirt and they're going to run your ass over, and they're going to hit you in the mouth. And that's the kind of offensive line that the Pats really, I think, need, especially with the fact that they, the most important position in all of sports is still up in the air, right? Yeah. They don't have that. So they need to be able to, knock you around a little bit.
Yeah. I think Belichick's mindset is, although McDaniels probably wants to go back to Brady offenses, but I think in his mindset for this year, it's old school football, run the ball, play defense, win 10-7.
Right.
And that's why we dumped Sony Michel, right? Because he's a dance behind the line kind of guy. He was
running good this year, but I think they could get something from him, and the two rookies actually look pretty good this year.
Right.
Yeah. I think honestly, he didn't really. I think they like what they saw from JJ Taylor. I think he's going to make the cut on Tuesday, to be honest with you. I think they definitely like what they saw from Stevenson, and to Robert Shoe's point, they weren't going to bring him back, and they wanted to at least get something for him.
Right.
And so they were able to pull this off and at least get something out of it. You heard they had to change the deal though, right? Because they actually were trying to trade, I think it was conditional picks, and they couldn't do that. And so they had to go back in and change things up around, and because they were trying to get future conditional picks, like 2023 or something. But they ended up getting, I think it was a 4th round and a 6th round or something like that for him.
Just so you know, he will end up on my fantasy team next week. Just so you know, I love Sony Michel. I'll take it.
He'll probably do it pretty
full
well.
Clear pad of paper.
LA.
Give me all the reasons why. I am dying to know.
I have. Well, first of all,
he attended the University of.
I don't know. I don't know that much about him.
Huge fan.
I'm a huge fan. I said I like him. I will take him in fantasy football.
Out of Georgia that year.
Georgia. Thank you, Georgia. And who was the first one picked? Because he was in the Super Bowl just last. Right.
That was the best running back out of Georgia from that season, that year's draft.
Also, I don't love how we pick up a guy, draft a guy and then ditch him 2 years later. That drives me nuts, especially a running back. Sometimes I think running backs generally take time to, I think it's underrated how difficult it is for a running back to get accustomed to a new quarterback.
But when you have a guy, but look at read the room, right? Read the running back room. So you have Damian Harris, right?
Yeah.
You got Stevenson. Those are your ground and pound type of backs, right?
Right.
Then you have Sweet Feet, right? James White.
Yeah.
Jimmy White. I can't wait to yell Jimmy White. I love Jimmy White.
and then JJ Taylor as well.
Tim's taking James White then.
Nope.
Just yell that.
Yeah. No, I hear you, Scotty.
They're just. I don't think Michel.
Might not be room for him.
He fit. I just don't think he didn't fit.
Yeah.
He didn't fit what they needed. And again, to what Billy said, they wanted to get something for him, and then LA came knocking because they just lost, not Akers, somebody on their squad. Their running back room is not nearly as deep as the Patriots. So they needed somebody. So they came, McVay was like, hey, please help me out.
In a shocking development, I completely disagree with Adam. First of all, I think most NFL running backs run 5-6 years tops, average.
Yeah,
like the shortest lifespan because of the bang, the
beating that they take. Yeah.
Above and beyond that, are you telling us that Tom Brady was real tough to work with? I mean, that's who he was dealing with.
No, I'm saying that
until Rumpelmintz showed up last year and he's like, oh, I had chlamydia 19 and you had one practice without me and now I'm all confused and like, nope.
No, he was good with Tom Brady.
Okay.
Sony Michel was great with Tom Brady under center.
Oh, I think great's a very strong word.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a strong
fine.
word.
Good.
Adam's remembering his playoff run, and he was great in
the one run he had in the playoffs.
You think about you look back at that run, the game against the Chargers, right?
Yes.
The game against the Chargers, he was really good in that game,
right?
Obviously AFC Championship game as well, and then he was the only one that scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Thank you.
But they did run the football at the end of 2018 a lot more. That's kind of where they, went to. But I mean, I wouldn't put the word great in front of Sony Michel.
All right, fine, good. All right.
Oh,
if we're gonna play semantics,
Adam,
he's good.
Conversely, on the other side of the coin, I pray he has a breakout year.
He absolutely is going to.
I want grist for the mill. I want you in your Sony Michel shirt, right?
I don't own a Sony Michel shirt, but maybe I can borrow Rubber Shoes.
I was gonna say there's still time. Rubber Shoes is having the New England Rams Patriots sewn together right now.
Yeah. I bet they're on clearance at Olympia Sports. I'm sure you can pick one up.
No, what's up?
They were on clearance last year. Actually, I almost bought a Sony Michel jersey last year because at Patriots Place, the Olympia there,
they were on
sale for like $20.
Challenged.
Like wait a minute. You have a Sony Michel jersey?
No. They were on sale for $20 last year, but I wasn't sure he was going to make the team. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
I thought it was going to get cut.
Rubber Shoes rationalizes
dude. $20
film at 11. All right. We'll talk about that later.
2 pops I can buy.
Dude, look behind you. It doesn't feel like you've rationalized a single purchase in your entire life. Coming from a guy who just pulled 9 Yetis out of his desk at work.
Oh, yeah. I just got these 2 Run DMC figures this weekend.
They were there last week.
No, these are 2 new ones.
No, the other ones to the right of the Funko Pops, Tim.
What are the other ones?
The other Run DMC ones? Run DMC hasn't been relevant for 30 years.
It was Run DMC, then it was Run DM3, and then it was Run DM4. Okay, I'm just trying to keep track here. Holy smokes.
My God. Can we get those closer to the camera so we could see those?
Yeah,
what are they?
Like
I don't want to
Star
disturb
Wars
your
plasticine. There's so much going on.
What is happening? I gotta
don't
move the
spill
Truly.
the adult beverage. There you go.
This is a lot. This is so many.
This is too much. It's too much. All right, what do we got?
Disappointed they didn't have GMS and J.
You're disappointed.
Oh, these are true action figures now?
Yep.
Where did you get these?
What is happening?
It didn't come with like a turntable?
Wait a minute. There's a Newberry Comics that's still open? What is happening?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that was a store that still existed.
Is it up by the Pheasant Lane Mall?
Run it. These I actually got down at the North Shore Mall.
Wow.
He spends. So what you have to understand is when he's not serving the great people of beautiful downtown Lowell.
Right.
And he's just driving around the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Yeah. He just runs amok. He's like, oh, there's a place where I could probably go in.
I'm sure there's a Funko Pop in there.
Yeah. Oh my God.
This was actually because we picked up Little Shoes at Little Heels house.
Oh my God.
So I see some of the action figures behind you are out of their wrapping, out of their packaging. Will you take those out of their packaging, or do we think that in 40 years those will be worth something?
I smartened up.
Oh, okay. All right.
I made some bad decisions.
Some.
Yeah, I have a whole case in the corner that's all opened ones. My
Wait, what now? You have a case to the right of you?
Yeah. Joe Montana and Dan Marino.
I feel like I'm going to apologize for this in a future life. Can you move the camera and show us?
Future life being 30 seconds from now.
Oh my God.
No, the other way.
What
there's a ring light. There's an additional
happening?
monitor. What is taking place?
Oh my God. You are three minutes away from hoarders showing up to your house.
And I love that when you pan far enough, there's like his great grandmother's curio that probably had china from before the war, right?
It was my wife's grandmother.
But he's got all the fun.
But it's got all my opened figures in there. Yeah.
China's not out being displayed.
Yeah, great grandma Corey's fine china from Europe. Or
I was like, should we get rid of this? I'm like,
Family
I got
Guy.
a perfect spot for it.
Oh my!
Holy shit!
Wow.
Amazing.
That's remarkable. I think that takes some heat off of me for saying I'd like to see Sony Michel stick around.
No, we're gonna hold on to that one.
Oh, okay.
So with Cam, what's the over?
Scotty's like, I don't have time.
I came out of the hospital for this episode. We're gonna stay on track.
Yeah, that's right. So with Cam though, over under on with him starting, right? Over under on the leash. Let's say he struggles.
Right? I love that we're making predictions. Go ahead, love it.
I'm just thinking so let's say he struggles. Is it if he struggles for the first? Are we going to go 6 weeks? Are we going to go a full 8? Or let's say the Pats are 4-4 after 8. Are we?
0-2, he's gone.
Think so.
Yep.
Yeah, it has to be that fast.
I think it will all depend on the record. If he sucks, but they're still 3-0, he stays in there. If he's really even borderline and they're 0-3, I think they go to the kid.
And that's so really unfair because they're gonna go to Mac and make his first game against Brady at home.
Belichick's still shooting for that Shula record.
I appreciate that, and it's unreasonable to throw Mac in at 0-3.
Listen, neither one of them's going to win that game.
I'm not saying they're going to win that game. I hate to be pessimistic,
but they're not going to.
And I agree with Adam. Like 0-2, you have a conversation, right? Because it needs to be a trend, not a blip. 0-1 is going to seem too short, and he'd say what anybody would say to defend their players. Like, hey, listen, we win and lose as a team. He'd call it all on him. I didn't prepare them properly, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm not thrilled with Miami. I think that's going to be a super challenge for us because I think we have a ton of talent. What did I say last year? I kept saying I think that 8 million different attitudes in the Buccaneer locker room is not going to work. And it did, which is awful and awesome. Congratulations, Tom. I think there's a lot of egos in the New England locker room right now. And I think if they can't get on the same page, I trust they can, but if they can't, it could go horribly wrong. And I'd love to see it be 0-1. I'd love to see it be like, okay, he had a horrible day.
Yeah.
Because your job is to lead the team, but to control the ball. And if we get lit up because it's turnovers and 9 of our turnovers are 13 of his interceptions, then yeah, we got to move on to .org all day.
Like, here's the thing, right?
If Belichick, they don't start off 2-0, I'll be shocked.
If they don't start off 2-0?
Yes.
Well,
I'm with Billy.
I say without fail, I agree. I want to say it's 1, but I'll say if we go 0-2, he pulls the trigger on the quarterback position. And then I'm going to throw out and I'm going to start this landslide of predictions. We can get Little Shoes when he comes back, maybe at the top of the draft. If you guys want to wait, you can do that too. I'm sticking to it. I'm saying it now, 8-9.
Oh, 8-9. Mm-hmm. Wow. Under 500.
We're 1 win better.
Okay. All right. I'll throw it out
I love the Patriots. I'm super excited. I can't wait. And it's going to be a challenge.
I'll throw it out there. I think 11-6. I think Max starts after we go 0-2.
I don't see them going 0-2. I definitely don't see them losing to the Jets.
Hey man,
Jets suck.
We used to lose to the Jets when they had freaking Mark Sanchez, so anything's possible.
Yeah, that defense was really good. That defense was very, very good. The defense this year, I think, is going to be exceptional for the Patriots, and the schedule not terribly daunting, right? There's a couple of trips they have to go west,
which is what's going to make it worse. Keep going.
But I mean, for me, I'm close to where Adam is, but I'm actually going like 12-5. Like, I feel like they are.
All right.
I can't.
They're going to be like, they're a top 3 team.
Price is righted
in
me.
The AFC. Yeah. Only because I think that defense is and the running game. I really think they're going to be able to run the football, and over time, I think it's going to wear people down. I know it's like an old school thought, but that's what I see.
All right.
I also think the leash is a lot. Again, depending on, I mean, I look at our first like 6 weeks, and depending on what that looks like, obviously record wise, but I think that's going to be that's the leash right there. That's like the measuring stick, is that, 4 to 6 week area. I don't think he's going to pull Cam, honestly. And I think a reason why, as much as he wants to get the record, it's also an ego. I made this decision. Mm-hmm. He's my guy.
Oh,
he's my choice. Yep. I'm going to give it some time to let Cam, you know what I mean? And he loves Cam, I mean, yes, he benched him during a couple of games where he was shit-tastic last year, but what happened right after that, he supported him and said that he'll be starting the next week. Yep. Right. Yep. So, that's the way that I look at that too.
Brian Hoyer is not walking through that door.
He may not be, actually. He might get cut tomorrow.
Oh,
bye, buddy.
Which I feel like Rubbish Shoes. I love Brian Hoyer.
Little Shoes for his prediction, and I love it.
No, I just took.
I'm here for it.
Took a picture of my cat that's laying right there.
Wow, you couldn't have said cat fast enough.
Oh my God! You took a picture
your lap. You're like, I'm taking a picture of my cat. I was like, say that word, whatever the C word is, say it faster.
Dear Mama Shoes, look at my cat.
I'm right around. Like,
nobody's listening anymore. Go ahead.
No, Billy's doing what I was doing. He's moving on.
What does your cat think?
I think it's gonna be like 9 and 8, and that'll might get them in the playoffs. They're gonna be borderline fringe playoff team.
Wow, some pessimists on this show.
I love it. 9 and 8 from Rubbish Shoes. I'm not shocked.
Love it. We can always throw this out the window. Right?
Mac Jones starts is the week that Cam has to go back into COVID protocol again.
Oh yeah, he's gonna go into COVID protocols like 6 more times this season. It's like his sweet spot.
He loves Atlanta. He loves.
So, are you gonna share the picture you took of your cat or what? I mean, honestly, if we can't keep Rubber Shoes' attention, whose attention are we trying to keep? Jesus. Here it is. Oh.
You know what happened? The cat came in and started counting Funko Pops, and he was like, 17, 18. Fell asleep. Yeah. That's how we do it. That's how we do it.
Of course.
Real quick, Rubber Shoes. The Red Sox, if their homework is to win every series, they've done at least that.
Yeah.
Why should we still be excited?
This one's there. If for some reason they catch fire the next week, they have 7 games against the Devil. I still call them the Devil Rays. The Tampa Bay Rays. They could get right back into the AL East talk, but I think you want to split these 4 games with Tampa, stay in that wild card talk. You got Cleveland next weekend. Should have swept them this past weekend.
Yep.
But win the series that you should win, and then make it tough again. So they got they have the White Sox, they have the Yankees, I think 2 more times, and they got Tampa Bay starting tonight and next week. If they, don't get swept in those series and win the series of the lesser teams, they should be right there.
The Yankees stumbled a little bit this weekend, though. I mean, right? So they're like 13-2 in their last 15.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they went on a tear. They lost their last 2 games, but
to the A's, right? Weren't both of them to the A's?
Was it Oakland? Yeah. Because there was some weird stuff that happened during that series too. Like the umpiring was really bad.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys follow John Boy or not, but yeah, you should.
I don't. Who's John Boy?
John Boy is it's actually very similar to kind of stuff, some of the stuff that we do, but he breaks stuff down and he's hilarious. And
all right.
Yeah, it's very, very funny stuff.
Does he want Rubber Shoes' cat to be on his show?
I don't think it wouldn't make the cut.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what are you going to do?
No. We're going down to a roster of 53. There's no room for Tinkle.
There's no room for the cat.
Yeah, actually, there's the only benefit of it was because, at that point, it didn't really matter who won because you want to either gain ground on the Yankees or get space on Oakland as long as they're 2.5 up on the A's right now in the wild card.
Right.
And 2 games back of the Yankees. But Yeah, it's a big series starting tonight against Tampa.
Yeah,
I'm just really impressed with Sale. He's just
so
he hasn't slowed
good.
down.
And if you're not taking the time to watch him deal his 5 or 6 or 7 innings, don't miss the press conference. It is appointment television. His FU fastballs, awesome. And he's just so angry. He's so passionate about this group. He's so thankful.
Well, the problem is basically his 3 starts for Boston were just 3 more rehab starts because they kind of played, he played Baltimore, the Twins, and I mean Cleveland's right there. They're I think 7 games behind the Red Sox for the last wild card spot. So they're a decent team, but Baltimore and the Twins are horrible right now. So
that's the thing though. That's not really on him. It's just whenever that. Yeah.
Right. But I've heard people say it's like he had 3 more rehab starts, and now his first real start is going to be against Tampa this week, which they're trying. I heard during the broadcast yesterday, they're trying to make one of these first 2 games a bullpen game so they can push Sale back, which will make him pitch 2 games against Tampa Bay. He'll pitch this week and next week against them. So they're trying to gain some ground.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if they make the playoffs, I hate the 1 game play-in game. Basically, it's like you make the playoffs, but do you really? You play 1 game before you play a series. I don't like that 1 game. It's exciting for people that don't have a team in the dogfight. Yeah, but it sucks for when you're rooting for one of those teams and it's like, okay, if they lose this 1 game, you're out of the playoffs.
I wouldn't even consider that like the playoffs, right? I wouldn't even I wouldn't consider that making the playoffs. You get to that play-in game, then you're not really in. I mean, because I agree. I don't really think you're not really in the tournament necessarily.
If they make the playoffs, you figure Tannehouse's going to the bullpen. Their starters are going to be Sale, Evaldi, Erod. I'll put them 3 up against any other starters in the league. And if their bats, we know they can hit. It's as long as they don't go in a funk during the playoff, they have a chance to go on a good run, but they got to make the playoff series.
Yeah. Right. 1 game's not going to do it. Yeah.
Because you could end up the 1 game playing could be against the Yankees, and you got Garrett Cole pitching for the Yankees against Chris Sale for the Red Sox, and that's a toss up.
Yeah, but the league would love that. League would love. I mean, not as much as they'd love a series.
Yeah, but a 13-hour game, first of all.
Yeah, exactly.
Holy
snooze fest.
Smokes. All right, so real quick before we get into talking about what we're going to do for a draft cast next week, golf and the Ryder Cup, which is coming up that people are excited about. Above and beyond that, East Lake this week for the FedEx Cup, the final the final round of the playoffs for the PGA. And yesterday, while Rubber Shoes was watching every other sport with every other piece of clothing on, I had my eye on the BMW because it was just fascinating that Bryson was blowing it up on Saturday. And my biggest fear was he's got enough of a lead. There's still enough rope for him to hang himself, right? And sure enough, ironically, it got to that point. And if you weren't paying attention, if you haven't seen this, it's definitely become a meme. It's all over the place. On the 14th fairway, if anybody was watching, on the 14th fairway, as he was setting up his shot, Cantlay, who he was playing against, was walking behind him. And it was so weird because it was so unnoticeable. And when you first heard him say it, I wasn't sure what he said, but he basically said, Cantlay, can you stop walking? The commentators thought you said, can you stop talking? But then they determined he said, can you stop walking? So he was setting up a shot, and I guess Cantlay was sort of behind him and probably about to come to a stop because you don't normally, out of courtesy, pass the golfer while they're making their shot. But he must have been just in his shadow over his head. And he said, Cantlay, can you please stop walking? And it was like that was the only piece of wood they needed for the fire because they end up back and forth. They were 27 under going into what ended up being, I believe, a 6 or 7 hole. I lost track. They went 18, 18, 17, 18, and then just kept replaying 18.
Yeah.
And Cantlay finally pulled it out because he was just making ridiculous putts.
That last putt he hit going uphill. That
unbelievable. And Bryson, it started on Friday, was missing 6-footers. I say
that's the thing. I could miss Shamro if he hit all those makeable putts, he would have
unbelievable
been like 50 on the par and
unbelievable. And he just started to melt, and you could see it happening.
He talks to himself. I texted that to you yesterday. Yeah. I'm like, one of these days he's walking in the parking lot, coming back with an taking people out. He is so ready to explode. You can see him.
He was very emotional, as you can imagine. So he let that slip away. And then now the joke is, never mind Eastlake next week for the whole thing, and somebody's going to get crowned. Above and beyond that, the Ryder Cup, the combination of athletes that could be on that team, I believe, is Bryson, Brooks Koepka. If you don't know about that already, they absolutely despise each other in each other's face. Now, obviously, Bryson it hasn't really been verbalized the way Brooks and Bryson are pretty clear on social media that they can't stand each other's face. But clearly Cantlay took that feather and put it in his cap. And he's like, okay, you're going to tell me to quiet down in 14. I'm going to win. And he did. Mm-hmm. And then, as everybody joked about, Patrick Reed, who is infamous for his sportsmanship on the course, people typically question how he plays the game of golf. He's out with chlamydia 19 right now.
He's an asshole.
And they're like, if he does get back from being out with COVID, everybody hates him and he hates everybody else. So this is where Rubber Shoes might have to do, if the Ryder Cup does sport all of those personalities, this could be a pay-per-view event.
Absolutely.
You might see somebody punch somebody. And the irony is you're on the same team.
Right.
You got blood on that red, white, and blue shirt, Right. So yeah, Europe's just going to watch us kick each other's ass in the parking lot, and they're going to just walk away with the trophy.
All the birdies. That'll be Rubber Shoes' show.
Yes. Yeah.
All the birdies.
Yeah. Or ATP, all the pugilism. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but yeah.
All the blood.
It's going to be something like that. So for the DraftCast next week, our intention.
Wait. Can we go back to this for a second?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
So I'm not a big, I know you guys watch more golf than I do, but I just wanted to ask this question because Bryson choked like every time he had the chance to choke, right? Before the playoff and even in the playoff. Is that his MO? Is he a choke artist? Or I know he won the Open, but is he a choke artist generally?
I don't think I would have called it choking. I mean, it's not choking when you force 6 playoff holes. Yeah. That's he made some incredible shots. They both, because they had I think they birdied, what was it, Timmy, 17? It was like all pars except for I think either one birdie, maybe 2, but they both played really, really well. I think Bryson, he gets in his own way a lot of the time.
Okay.
And it's just he
choked one of the majors. He had like a 9 on one hole.
Yeah.
He said he
completely blew up. Here's the thing about him. He's come into popularity or notoriety because he's like when they grab a righty for the Red Sox, hit ball over wall, like that mentality. Like he decided a couple of years ago, I'm going to do some protein shakes. I'm going to lift an inordinate amount of weights, and I'm going to hit a 48-inch driver.
Right.
And nobody's going to catch my distance. And that's all well and good. Where I get frustrated with him is he'd be fun to watch if he could do that and then temper that to some extent and keep it inside the tree line.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. He gets in his own way sometimes. Yeah.
The irony this weekend, and certainly yesterday, was, where I, and Scotty will laugh and Rubber Shoes will laugh because they play enough golf to know that this is embarrassing. And here I come with my transparency. On an elevated par 3 tee box at a regular course where I'm guessing Scotty might hit an 8, Rubber Shoes might hit an 8. Like, I don't know what you hit on a par 3 if it's an elevated tee box. Give me your club.
How far it is.
I was to say, I don't know what's the yardage.
I'm throwing out 140, 150. Right.
So 140.
Elevated,
yeah. I'm hitting. If it's elevated, I'll hit an 8. Yeah. Easy.
Yeah. So I'm. No one should be shocked. I'm terrible. I'm grabbing my 5 probably. My 5. Like, that's my friendly 5 because I know I can swing it in a controlled manner, and God willing, she gets there. And ask Aiden, because he'll tell you. I'm probably going to hit the front and roll back, right? I'm Struggle-saurus Rex because I can keep it in front of me, but it's not impressive. But you always keep it in front of you. Yeah, it's 13 feet in front of me. I can reach up and touch it, right? Yeah, like I hit really short. So for a player that typically is known for his distance, he had a couple of shots yesterday where he just misjudged his club, and it wasn't the wind. Right. It wasn't any like if you had hit one club in the right direction for the layman's, like to hit down a club and be able to hit a little bit further, but his ego, he goes for the wrong club, he lofts it and it was perfect, but it caught the front of the green and rolled back.
Mm-hmm.
Where if he one more club, he would have hit behind the pin and rolled towards the pin. So his misjudgment on his club selection is fascinating, because he is, just to explain the whole Brooks Koepka and him thing. Brooks Koepka is your friend who was the athlete in high school. He was a country club kid. And I don't dislike him. I love that they're fighting. I mean, I just want to see them walking together on 18 on a Sunday. Eventually that'll be appointment television. Nothing wrong with him. They got into it because here comes Bryson DeChambeau. He's your friend who aced chemistry, aced math, decided to get in golf. He's really good at reading greens, and he is the scientist out there. And they're just not the same person. They are oil and water. So they're up against each other. So for him to wildly miscalculate on some of these shots over the weekend, where he should have it dialed in, especially on Sunday, there's been no dramatic weather changes. You play the course. This is your fourth time through. Then you get into a playoff round and misjudge some shots. This is Bryson, this is your 9th time playing the 18th hole today.
And that's what I'm saying is that's, you guys wouldn't consider that a choke? Like,
no,
that seems like
no,
choking.
Scotty makes a great point, because he was staying with him. Cantlay was playing very measured shots down the fairway. And of course, Bryson whacks one, hits it OB into the water, plays his rescue shot at a penalty out of that, and plays shot for shot with what Cantlay hit with an iron out of it. Like, no, phenomenal. And at some point, you're just, like everybody knows, golf is 4,000% between your ears. You know, well, clearly for me too, it's obviously I gotta lift some weights. The macaroni muscles aren't really working here, but in the grand scheme of things, it's all mental. And he just finally ran out of dexterity between the ears.
And I have to know, Tim, what you thought of, because I know you noticed this, what you thought of the cars at every tee box. Did you like that?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to that necessarily. I do understand you have a BMW behind you. I'll give you credit for that.
Thank you. Yes, I was hoping somebody would notice. I mean,
well, you always have something that plays into the conversation.
Yes, thank you.
I'm like, either he bought a car and he wants us to know.
No, I didn't buy those.
The stonework tells me it's not Walpole, but I couldn't tell if that's parked outside a women's prison or if that's right. Doesn't that look like a fence at the top?
That's called Google Images. That's not a picture I took. It's not my car. It's not my prison. It is nothing of mine. It is just
not your prison.
Image. And I actually don't really care that it didn't get brought up. I really did want to know what you thought of because I feel like that's something you notice on these telecasts. You notice like product placement and stuff like that. So I actually
well at that thing though, they're everywhere. I'm more impressed. If you watch, and maybe some of us do, maybe some of us don't. If you watch for DirecTV, it's 218. It's the golf channel. If you put that on over the weekend, you're going to get whatever they're playing in Europe. Then you roll into the LPGA. Then you roll into the championships, like the Champion Series. Like golf's on all the time. Yeah. Like I guarantee Aiden gets home from golf practice today. He's going to put on women's collegiate golf because he's a smart man, right? Mm-hmm. Scotty's like, yes, I'm recording it right now. Go Bama. Yep. In the grand scheme of things, that stuff's always on. And if you watch any of the stuff going on with the European tour that takes place, that is sponsored by any Asian company, just some brilliant marketing. Like they've got some things like, how did they do that on the water? I'm more enthralled with some of the creativity than just
dropping a car on there.
Yeah, right? we dropped a BMW by the tee box. Cool, good job, Terry. Like they couldn't have come up with something more brilliant than that. But
I like when they put the car in the middle of the pond. That's the more impressive ones.
Yeah, and some of the when they're overseas and the Emirates tournament and they're like in South Korea and they've got like go-go dancers in the middle of they do a lot of it's the Asians are creative. There, I said it. You're welcome.
All right. Well, it's better than some other things you could have said. So
I'll save that for the draft. Anyway, so
please.
Next Wednesday we got our draft.
Way to bring it back.
We're gonna make sure we have our 10th person for the draft. We're going to run that on a website connected to a company that runs a show called Dork Desk. We can't say, can we say Dorkcast or Dork Center, or we can't say
Sports Center? I think you can
say Sports Center. Yeah, we're not going to show the screen, but we might be using something connected to them to run our league. And you'll have, whether people are on screen or not, I think most of the people that aren't part of the show that are joining our league, most of our wives will be involved, which is going to be just, it's going to make for a long fall, boys. Yeah. And we'll make sure we get little shoes. But right now I'm saying that the Pats go 8-9. Adam says 11-6. Scotty says 12-5, and Rubber Shoes says 9-8. And we'll get little shoes prediction next week.
None of those just sound normal, by the way.
I hate
weird.
Yeah, I want to have even numbers. I never, if you ever heard a prediction from me, I never gave like 11-5. I couldn't do it.
Right. It's just weird. It's very weird.
And now you can't. And I just so I'm sticking with my 8-9. So we'll be back at it next week. Rubber Shoes is back on your phone or your looking device tomorrow morning for the Rubber Shoes wrap up. Yeah, it might be a picture of his cat. That was a lot. That was the longest 10 seconds.
We were all on the edge of our seats.
Everybody's going to take a really hot shower this, looking down. Tonight. Yeah,
what are you doing, Rubber Shoes?
All of that. Happening? He's thinking right now, as soon
I was texting it out
over, I'm absolutely going to take a picture of my lap, and there's no cat inside.
Look at this guy.
Scream all you want. Nobody's home. Yeah. Oh, my God. Anyway. So Rubber Shoes is on Instagram. You can get the Rubber Shoes wrap up and rant every morning. And of course, we would love for you to share the content with your friends if you're enjoying the show and hanging out with us. We appreciate your support. And you can do that at atbshow.com. So we'll be back next Wednesday with the DraftCast. Until then, boys, Scotty, so glad that everybody at your house is doing well.
Thank you.
And for everybody else, stay safe. If your place of work is asking you to wear a mask, wear the fucking mask. Just deal with it.
Please, just do it.
Just deal with it. It's whether you like it or not. We're not making the rules. We're just trying to stay alive. So,
Amen.
Everybody be well. We'll see you soon. Have a great night.
See ya.